All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream. This time I'm going to be talking about Craftopia again. I've played this game just a little bit, and I want to go ahead and talk about what Craftopia is and what Craftopia is not after it just launched 3 days ago, back on Friday, September 4th. A staggering early success for the developers behind this game, Pocket Pair Incorporated. And for what it is, it can be a fun game, but I want to go ahead and talk about why people are calling this game an asset flip. And it's incorrectly being labeled as an asset flip. People obviously are confused about what an asset flip and what an asset flip is not. So I'm here to go ahead and set the record straight for what is an asset flip, what is it not, and exactly what is Craftopia, because hey, I've seen links to assets in the game. So let's go ahead and talk about that real quick, guys. All right, guys, so let me go ahead and show you the difference between an asset flip and a game that's just heavily reliant on assets to make the game. Craftopia is just heavily reliant on assets used to make this game. It is not an asset flip. Okay, it might be a mess and it might be incohesive, but this is not an asset flip, because what they've done is they've purchased a whole bunch of different assets off the stores, and they've put them together, and they've actually done some coding and work to actually try to, make the game playable and combine all these assets they purchased into one big game. So it's not an asset flip at all. So for those of you who are wanting to know what an asset flip is, let me explain that to you. Okay, it's right here. So this game here, made by Drunken Apes, who are known asset flippers, at least by me, this game here is an asset flip. Because what the developer did, he did not just go and buy all these different sprites and combine them and put in the code himself to make a game. The developers, Drunken Apes, what they have done is they have went to the Unity store, right? And they said, you know what, we want to make a game about asteroids, right? And then they went to a 2D and they went and bought a template, right? And so they went to the Unity store and they said, hey, we want to buy a template for an asteroid shooter. And so if you look on here, there will be an asteroid kit just like this. So some of these are just like vector asteroids. That's just the sprite. So if you wanted to use these sprites to put in your own project, people might call your game an asset flip. But if I buy just these vector asteroids here, which are nothing but sprites, and then I do all the coding myself, and I have a game where I'm a spaceship shooting these different asteroids, and these asteroids are blowing up into these smaller pieces, I've done the code and the work myself. I've just used this asset that I purchased off the Unity Asset Store to help make my game look better, for example. This would not be an asset flip. I've actually done the code and the work myself. And this is essentially what Craftopia is doing. They are purchasing 3D asteroids, not 3D asteroids, but 3D assets instead of 2D assets like this. But they are buying these 3D assets like the bear, the dragon, all the animals you see, the sheep, etc., the rocks, the everything, and they're putting it all together to make a living, breathing world and a game that they've developed themselves, just mainly out of assets that they've purchased. It would be no different than me buying a spaceship and all these asteroids and maybe a boss or something like that, that I buy the sprites off from the store, and then I do all the code and the work myself to actually make the game workable and, a working project. So if I look here, okay, so again, this is an asset flip. These developers have done no work themselves except change the name of the game, or name of the kit they bought. So they went to Unity and they bought this Unity Space Shooter Starter Kit. And if you play this video, you'll see that this is a complete game that you can buy. It's a complete template. It's a base foundation for a game, right? And you'll see that right here, so the developers have bought this kit for 20 bucks or whatever price they paid for it off the Unity Asset Store. It's already completely working as it is. It's a base foundation for a space game. It's not intended to just export and sell. It's just a base foundation for a game. And that's why this game's getting mixed reviews, 40% positive, because it's not a complete game. It's a foundation for a game. But this is an asset flip. The developers, Drunken Apes, have purchased this and then just exported it, the executable, and then uploaded it to Steam and changed the name from, you know, Space Shooter Starter Kit to Space Asteroid Shooter. And, you know, they're just making a quick profit off doing no work. That is an asset flip. And that's the difference, people. So I just wanted to go ahead and explain that before we get started on, you know, reviewing this game or looking at Craftopia. And look at the trailer here. So when we look at the trailer, we see a blissful, colorful, vibrant world that looks really good. Okay, we see, you know, animals and wildlife. We see reflective water. We have gliders. We have the ability to create factories and conveyor belts. A lot of different mobs and giant, you know, elephants. Dungeons full of skeletons, etc., etc. The problem with Craftopia is while a lot of this stuff does seem to gel and be cohesive, there's also a lot of things that just don't belong and that look, you know, really out of place inside Craftopia. So one of the things that really looks out of place inside this world, when you look at it, is things like a dune buggy, like a modern dune buggy in this fantastical world of animals and dragons and skeletons and stuff like that. We have a sci-fi robot here that really looks out of place in a world like this. Again, factories of conveyor belts with delivering cattle on it and stuff like that. A lot of this stuff just doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right. A tank, again, in a world like this just doesn't belong. A warfighter airplane. Dragons and stuff like that I can certainly see. But, you know, it's constructed in a manner that does deliver some fun. But there are a lot of problems with Craftopia that I want to go ahead and talk about. We're going to go ahead and play Craftopia here and show you some of the problems with the game, show you some of the reasons why you might like the game. But I want to be honest about what Craftopia is. First thing I want to do, guys, here is I want to go ahead and take a look at Pocket Pair Incorporated. And when we look at Pocket Pair, we see that the games they have on Steam are basically Craftopia, which just launched a few days ago, back on September 4th, 2020. It is in early access. And then they also have Over Dungeon, a game I haven't played, but this game came out just about a year ago. And as you see from the reviews, we have 2,200 reviews, mostly positive reviews. And this is kind of a card builder, casual RPG indie game that looks pretty nice. I mean, if you like card builders, which I really don't, this game does look like, you know, it could be fun. I can see why it's getting positive reviews. But the developer Pocket Pair has really taken a big step up with the release of Craftopia, really opening the floodgates for what's going to appeal to a wide range of people. And for that, they deserve, you know, big time success, and they deserve some respect for, you know, basically taking a game like Breath of the Wild and, you know, Farmville and, you know, what else do you have here? You know, I don't know. You have a lot of different games. A lot of it looks like Breath of the Wild. A lot of it looks like a modern, you know, it's a modern crafting game, modern survival crafting game, which is very appealing to a lot of people on Steam. So it combines a lot of the RPG, crafting, survival type stuff that tends to do well on Steam with players today. So they've done a great job at building a world here that's going to appeal to the masses. And it shows here, guys, with almost 3,000 reviews here in just the first 3 days since it launched. Remember, this game only launched 3 days ago at the time that I'm recording this video and live streaming this video. So over my years on Steam, guys, and as a Steam developer as well who's gotten reviews on my own games, I can tell you that a lot of games probably average, and I've talked to other developers as well, a lot of games tend to average somewhere, I'd say, 1 in every 50 people that buys a game leaves a review. That's probably a pretty safe bet. In a lot of situations, it's actually less frequent than that. So a lot of games are probably closer to 1 in 100. I know my games are closer to 1 in 100 people that buy the game leave a review, if not 150 or more. So we're basically going to say 2,800 reviews times 50, because probably 1 in 50 are leaving a review, if that. It may not, it may be more than that actually, or maybe less than that. But we come up with 140,000 copies is probably a really safe bet. 140,000 copies of Craftopia is a pretty safe bet on how many copies they've actually sold. Again, we get that number by multiplying 2,800 reviews times 50, because like I said, 1 in 50 is probably a pretty safe bet on how many people actually leave a review. A lot of games, it's even less infrequent than, you know, not even that frequent. More like 1 in 100, 1 in 120, whatever. But 1 in 50 is a pretty safe bet. So it's probably actually sold more than 140,000 copies in 3 days. But we're going to go ahead and take that 140,000. We're going to multiply that by, it's going right now for 25 or 22.49 with a 10% discount. Let's just be safe again. Let's multiply that 140,000 times 20. And guys, we come up with $2,800,000. So in 3 days, this game, I think this is a safe bet, has netted close to $3 million. Probably more than that. So if we take out Steam's cut, it's safe to say that the developers of this game have already cashed in an easy $2 million. I tell you what, I wish I could launch a game that would make, you know, $600,000 a day, or $3 million in, or basically for me, my cut would be $2 million in 3 days. That's basically $4 million, $5 million a week. I think I could live off that. So these developers have obviously launched a very successful game. Now, will their success continue is the question. Well, it's really going to depend on how they can update their game, upgrade their game, and make sure that it's stable, fun. They have a lot of multiplayer problems with the multiplayer functionality of this game right now, and a lot of it's probably going to depend on if they can iron all that out and get all that working correctly as well. But I want to go ahead and show you the game, guys. If you guys haven't seen any of the gameplay, let's go ahead and launch the game. So we see it comes up with a Unity default launcher. Let me go ahead and make sure that I am capturing this game so we don't have any laggy or anything like that. All right. So here, again, because it is an early access, they are saying that the game does contain a lot of untranslated and machine-translated text, but they're going to keep working on that because the grammar right now in English is really bad. They are from Japan, the developers. It is an early access. They say there is going to be some unstable bugs and unimplemented systems, and they're going to keep working on Craftopia to improve the quality of the game over a year. So please wait. You can progress the game to the 5th age of the Industrial Age, and there's only 2 kinds of boss that will appear in this game right now. They're planning on adding 10 more, and the types of weapons will be increased in the future, etc. It says here that we focus on the multiplayer to develop it to debug, but it's still very unstable. We highly recommend you restart the client if you have any problems, and if you look at the forums for the game, there are a lot of multiplayer problems right now in the game, and we see that. Okay, we see that right here in multiplayer, still under development. I mean, they make that aware that, hey, you're going to have problems trying to play multiplayer. We're still working on it. So when I talk about this game, guys, we have a beautiful world. It's kind of a fantasy, blissful world, and we have some things that really don't belong, such as this motorcycle and the dune buggy, as I already mentioned. They have grabbed a whole bunch of assets, and I do believe they've created a map creator or something like that from the Unity store as well, and crafted this world, if not just bought the entire world. I mean, it's not that big. The map's not that big. So let's go ahead and play the single player, guys. So when we create a new character, we jump in, and we're presented with this female, and it just feels like this... It feels like this female doesn't really belong in this game. Like, first thing, it's kind of daunting when you first see this pop up on the screen. It's not exactly what you would expect your character to look like in a game like this. I don't know what this looks like, but this looks like something in a completely different type of game. And we can go to a male here. And notice, again, notice how the hair in the face doesn't even change when you go to a male. So when we come to the face, so remember, we've selected a male. So if we go back, see, we've got a male selected. Look at how feminine this looks. Look at this. I mean, could you get... So the first 4 faces here are very, very feminine on a male body. Why they even allow that, I don't know. I mean, you can see the size difference in the heads of the male heads over the female heads. Now, once you come to the male heads, the body, the head fits the body a little bit better, except for maybe that one. That one's pretty small. And then we got an old man head there, whatever. But it's... I don't know, in this kind of a game, you don't expect, with the dragons and you know, realistic looking cows and stuff like that, you really don't expect your hero to be a character that looks like something you would see in an anime. This looks like something I would see in like an anime game or like a visual novel, is what these characters look like. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. But we come to the hair. Let's go ahead and try to give him some, you know, some masculine hair. There we go. Alright. So I don't know why I can't change the color of his hair if he has a bandana. Oh, I can. Alright, never mind. Alright. Just the first 2 brown ones aren't working great. Alright, let's just do that. And we're going to create, and it's going to ask for a name. And we're just going to call him an asset, because that's exactly what he is. He's an asset. Alright. So then a lot of the stuff doesn't really make sense. Like, it's not well implemented. So, like, why this screen even comes up, I have no idea. It doesn't tell you to push the button. Actually, it does here. No, that's still working on the multiplayer. That's stuff about that. So there's nothing here that says, hey, press the button to launch something or to do anything. You're just left here with a blank screen. Like I said, this game doesn't really...
Now, test complete. All
And so then we have a nuclear explosion. We see the Earth blows up. And then it gives you hints here, tips, as the game loads in. So, yep. So you push a red button, you blow up the Earth, and I guess it's representing a nuclear war or something. I don't know. So then we see our anime character in this world. I mean, they got great music. They bought great music. They bought great assets for the game. There's no doubt about that. So now we have this character. Now, a lot of these characters, like I say, guys, can be welcome asset. Do you remember about Earth? The planet was destroyed. I don't remember. Let's see. To be expected, you definitely destroyed it. We knew the destruction would come eventually. Mankind raised fire, cleared the forest, developed industries, built prosperity. You destroyed it. But the great god Krael decided to give you another chance, to mankind and to you too. You shall be the first of mankind to lead the new world, Craftopia, down the righteous path. You shall vanquish dragons, equip yourself with legendary weapons and great monuments to be seen as part of this world. By that time you shall know blah blah blah. Asset with Craftopia, you'll get us started all over again. Okay, so that kind of explains why we're here. Gotcha. So a god has given us a whole new world. I almost feel like I'm a Mormon now. Alright. I just remember, I don't know a whole lot about the Mormon religion or anything like that, but I remember dating a Mormon girl when I was in my late teens, that I do remember her telling me about things like if she didn't drink soda, because soda is considered a sin, evidently, and if you do everything perfect, there's like 7 levels of heaven or something like that, according to the Mormon beliefs, or the Book of Mormon. There's like 7 levels of heaven, and if you don't drink soda, you don't do all these like really stupid little things on Earth and keep clean, then you can arise to the 7th level of heaven, where you can be a god or goddess of your own world. Evidently, that is something they believe. I don't know if that's right or wrong. That's just what I remember from dating her, or my interpretation of what she told me for when I was younger. So it was pretty crazy, and I guess this is kind of like that. I don't know. Because, I mean, look at us. Here we are, a god, in our briefs here, and our sexy Hanes underwear. Wait till we get our Hanes on you. Like I said, it just... I get it that, you know, in survival games, people start off either nude, like in Rust, or just in, you know, briefs or whatever. Select world, so we're just going to go ahead and call this My World. Alright, so you can name your world, and then when you log in, you can move your character, I believe, from one world to another, etc. I just said that. Oh, I could go back. My world, there we go. But no, they definitely got great music. The music is amazing for this game. I mean... So real quick, while this is loading, guys, I just want to go ahead and show you one example of something you'll see. I was on the Unity Asset Store, and I was looking for, like, a dragon I saw in the trailer. I mean, the trailer does look really impressive. Makes the game look fun. I can see why the game's selling. It's an amazing trailer. But if you come to the Unity Asset Store, you'll see, like, this bear here for 20 bucks. And if you watch this video, you will be convinced, I'm sure, that this bear... We don't see the bear wave, I don't think. But when you see this bear run around, you'll be convinced that this bear is the same bear that we'll see inside Craftopia. So... Yep, that's how he fights. Here we go. This is the bear you'll see in Craftopia, and he's purchased on the Unity Asset Store. You know, there's also a skeletal dragon that you can see. I mean, a lot of these assets are good prices. I mean, $19.99, and it says it has like 60 animations or something like that, different animations. I've never played with Unity, but it almost makes me want to just go buy this bear and create some kind of a simple bear game. You know, in a little forest where you can interact with a bear and have him do all these kind of cute things. I mean, it might make a fun little game that people would buy. I mean, I can see why all these assets are so tempting to, like, indie developers. Because, you know, they're already loaded with all these animations and they look great. For 20 bucks, you're like, damn, gosh, I want to make my own little game and make it with a bear and a fish and you know, a wolf and a pig or whatever. By buying assets like this, they look great. But anyway, I want to show you one more skeleton dragon. So this is something we saw inside the trailer, and I mean that I believe that skeleton dragon is right here. That is used, bone dragon, yeah. So I do believe this is the bone dragon that you see in the trailer. But anyway, a lot of these assets, guys, are definitely purchased on the Unity Asset Store. Alright, so when we load into this game, guys, this is what I'm talking about. A lot of this stuff just doesn't make sense. So we see this little island up in the air with like conveyor belts underneath it. Like, why are there conveyor belts? And we'll see that when we build some ramps to go all the way up there. Why do I need to build ramps to go up there to talk to this god? It just doesn't... It's not well thought out, I don't think. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's almost like somebody got really drunk and had this weird dream of this game, and then decided to recraft their nightmare. So then we have all these tutorial NPCs, and when we talk to her, she just tells you something about something that's blatantly obvious that anybody, you know, you can... Eating the wood, yeah, I mean... A lot of the stuff is blatantly obvious. You don't need any of these NPCs, and in fact, all these NPCs, when you first log in, is almost a little bit overwhelming. It's kind of daunting to see all these NPCs just standing here on this pier. I think they would do better by removing all these NPCs altogether. But I mean, like I said, a lot of these assets have their own animations and do their own thing, and you know, fly perfectly and walk perfectly, and the sheep, and again, we come into this world and we see some things that... So the sheep I can get, the rocks all look good, the water looks fantastic, you know, these ore rocks seem fine, the logs look great. This world, the trees and the bushes and stuff like that look fantastic. But then you're like, again, these little blue things here, which are called monos, they just don't belong. They look out of place. and you run up to them, and I mean, they're funny. They're funny as hell. You punch one, and it'll go flying. See? It just goes flying, and it does a little bit of damage to it, so then you have to chase it. And this is what I'm talking about can be fun, you know? Running around kicking these little blue things that don't belong in the world, just kicking the crap out of them. And, and then eventually you'll kill it. I don't know if you can attack in the water, but there we go. So it died, and it left behind an egg asset, whatever. But, I mean, you got the fish here looking good. You got the ripple effects in the water when you swim. I mean, everything's beautiful. Like, and I'm sure that a lot of the stuff is assets well put together. But some aspects of this game just aren't well put together. So, one thing we can do is we can run up here, and we can punch a rock, and if you look at the animations of... I wish we could zoom in here, guys, because if you look at the animations of him actually punching the rock, it just doesn't look right. It looks like Unity assets that animations, like default animations for this character, and a lot of times he'll be hitting the rock with like his elbow, and I don't know, and then the rock breaks. It says, hey, you need a weapon to get that one. So, I mean, a lot of it's coded well enough so that it makes sense, but, you know, how does this not hurt your hand? I know you can do this in Minecraft, but to come into a game like this and look at that, it looks very painful. I mean, this is making my hands hurt. Thinking about smashing my bare hands into a big rock and breaking it up definitely doesn't look right. I know Minecraft does it, but this isn't Minecraft. This is something that looks a little bit more realistic, especially when you look at the clouds and the, you know, the water and everything like that. See how that just doesn't even really look right? It just looks silly. when you pay attention to the detail. But I do like, you know, it's fun. You come in here and you play the game, and it's fun, even though it doesn't gel well. So, it's kind of an incohesive mess, and this thing decides to attack us. We're just going to continue pounding this rock. And we send him flying. Kind of funny. And this guy, he's like, hey, quit picking on my brother. I don't know. So we can beat the crap out of this tree and rocks and get rocks, but our jump looks so silly. Like, look how cool our fighting motions are and the effect on the tree. But then you would think our jump would be crazy cool, and that's all it is. Because again, it's just default animations that come with this character asset that they bought. You know, we can chase the chicken around. I love that kick animation. And your character doesn't lock onto the enemy is another problem as well. Like, at this point, your character, they should definitely code in the ability, if you're facing an enemy like this, and you're trying to melee it or hit it or whatever, your character should kind of lock on or snap on to wherever you're trying to, you know, to make it a lot easier. And this is kind of the frustration with playing a game like this. So, our next mission is to climb a wall. This is rocks, that isn't going to count, you know. So you can climb and you can make a wooden axe. So we're going to go ahead and make a wooden axe. So we hit O to craft. And we see that a wooden axe is right here. And it tells us the selling price. It tells us the attack and the modifiers and all that. It tells us we only need 3 wood, or 3 logs to make it. Why you don't need any stone, I don't know. That doesn't, again, make a whole lot of sense that you only need wood to make an axe, because this is definitely metal up here. But okay, whatever. I like the crafting animation. But the throwing? Like, why is that throwing part of the animation? Notice when I craft something that I have like a throwing right after he does that cloud and crafts something. you'll see him make a throwing animation. Why have they not taken that part of the animation out? Because it makes no sense. It doesn't really belong here. I mean, I like the animation when you click, you know, when I ate an egg. So it's eating animation. So now we should be able to come up here, and if we jump up here, yeah, so it's basically saying I can't use an axe on that. I can use an axe on the weapon, I mean on this mono. But this is where you're like, okay, well, I was supposed to climb a wall, but that hasn't met my... Is this a wall? You're thinking, okay, this is kind of my problem. I was like, is this a wall? And now you see I'm kind of glitched out. But... Oh, we did climb a wall. Okay. So the first time I played this, I actually crafted a wall and placed it just so I could climb it. So now as we come around here, guys, I want to go ahead and show you. So we have the fox. Slide down here. I want to show you this bear is definitely that bear that we saw on the Unity Asset Store. With his movement. And the way he'll paw at me. So he just jumped and fell off right down here. So this is what I want to show you guys right here, right? So the bear is going to be over here, and he's going to be trying to glitch his way back up the wall. So I'm exhausted, that's why I can't swim faster. There we go. See your stamina over there to the right, the meter. See if we can find this bear. He might have already just glitched his way back up the mountain, but it's kind of funny. Oh, the bear died. The bear died over here somehow and left these resources here. I don't know what happened, but somehow he died. Poor bear. Alright. But it's a, you know, it's a nice game for what it is, guys. I mean, I'm not saying you can't have any fun. The problem with this game is how jarring and incohesive some of the assets that they've chosen to use are. For example, seeing a motorcycle or a dune buggy in a world like this. You know, for example, seeing those little blue creatures in a world like this, it isn't that bad. I mean, some of the special effects, like how beautiful the water looks, how amazing those sun rays look, and things like that. Here we go again. Some other... So I guess when these animals fall off the cliff, they will die or take a lot of damage when they hit the water, which kind of makes sense. So a lot of these deer and cows and stuff like that are obviously just jumping off or falling off the cliff to their death. So I guess if you wanted to, you could just come over here and swim around and collect a bunch of resources. So it is getting night. I mean, nighttime does look really beautiful. Right? But I want to show you guys another problem. There's a lot of crafting. There's a whole lot of stuff that you can craft, and you can build an altar so you can actually move to 5 different ages, so you can advance all the different stuff that you can craft. So I'm gonna guess that bear is already respawned. And we come down here, and you watch these, you watch the deer run around, and you'll see kind of what I'm talking about, the bad AI, the glitching. You'll see this deer is trying to glitch through the wall, kind of glitching out. And I mean, these are kind of problems you would expect with early access and that kind of thing. But it is kind of funny. Especially like if I hit one of these deer. They'll probably freak out, then they get stuck in the wall, this kind of thing. Alright. And we have a deer that actually got stuck in the portal. And there's the bear again, coming after us, glitching around and gonna jump on us. Yep, so we're gonna go inside this portal because I want to show you guys this dungeon. So again, we come inside this portal and we see this Then the receptionist, again, doesn't make a whole lot of sense as to... She just doesn't fit. And you hit E on her in an ordeal of escape. You're able to escape. If you're able to escape what? The Crail God should approve of you. Right. So we come in here and we run through this dungeon, which I'm sure this dungeon is also another Unity asset that you can buy. Because when we come through here, guys, well, we have to build a hoverboard, I think, or something, or we have to be level 5. I think that's the deal. So we have to come back when we're, I don't know, a certain level, so that isn't working. But the dungeon is definitely an asset, and if you go to the second dungeon, there's another dungeon that actually has skeletons and other, watch out, don't fall to your death there, bear. I don't know if it'll let us in this other dungeon or not. But the other dungeon is the exact same dungeon. And the enemy AI is terrible in that dungeon. Absolutely terrible. But I mean, yeah, I mean it's a pretty game. I mean, you could come in here and you can craft all this stuff. Another problem too is when you hit E here, it doesn't do anything. So I've hit E like 5 times now, and I haven't opened the chest. So finally, like the 7th time I opened it, I got some stuff. So now you come down here and you can, you know, pick up these different things, and they all have different values. You can go ahead and equip that. Let's go ahead and equip this as well. Instead of the axe, and we can run around and we can hit things. We get to burn these things up? Yeah. So we catch them on fire. Which, I mean, that's all kind of cool, and that's just something I got in a chest, and they will burn up. So this is what I'm talking about. A lot of this game is pretty cool and pretty fun, but a lot of it, because it is just a bunch of, I wouldn't call mashed together assets. I mean, they've done a pretty good job with it. I love the sun rays in this game. But you hit tab, we go to craft here, and we want to create a stone workbench. So then we can go ahead and place the stone workbench down here somewhere. How did I lose my stick? Where did my stick go? Alright, polish stick. Then you can make all this other stuff, including like a glider, which is pretty fun. It's kind of hard to use. You kind of have to get up high to glide and to use that really well. But then we have to build these things, guys. So we have to build, I think, like... We only have 3 logs. I don't know where all our logs went. Maybe we used them all. I thought we got a lot more logs than that. We're going to go ahead and hit 2 here. We're going to go ahead and come in here and get some more... So, I mean, like I say, they've done a nice job of implementing a lot of these assets together that they purchased. But is this game really worthy of the hype and the success that it's had so far? In my opinion, no. I don't think it's a big cohesive game quite yet, especially with the multiplayer not working. I'm definitely not telling you guys, my viewers, what to do or how to spend your money. But like I said, I would be a little bit hesitant on dropping $25 on this game at this point with the number of bugs and how incohesive a lot of this stuff actually looks. So we can actually craft 49 of those. We don't need 49 of those. I think we only need like 15, 16 of these. So let's go ahead and let's just craft 25. I don't know. So we're going to craft 25 of these ramps. We got to go up here and talk to this guy. We also got to craft a stone pickaxe, so we can go ahead and do that. We'll craft that, and we're just doing our missions up in the upper right. Equip yourself with a stone pickaxe. So here we'll just do that, and then we'll hit 3. Now we've met that. Collect 30 stones. So again, we'll just come up here. So I want to show you something I found here, guys. So what you can do is on these rocks, you can either just get your pickaxe and you can whack at it like that and break it up. It takes, you know, 15 seconds or whatever to break it all up. Or what's even more fun, and I found this out, guys, you can run up to it and you can just hit space right before you get there. And you know, I did it wrong. So if you smack it down as you're coming down like that, well, it didn't work. You must have to have a better pickaxe. So if you have a better pickaxe, what will happen is when you jump on it like that and you hit it like that, you'll bust the rock completely up. So I think you just got to have a higher tier pickaxe to do that. But it's pretty fun. You can just jump up in the air and wham, and it'll bust apart into a whole bunch of pieces. So let's go see what it takes to build a... So it wants us to make a glider here. Let's go ahead and take our 25 ramps. It wants us to craft a glider. And we also need a research facility. So this is something that is kind of weird as far as advancing, but I guess it's okay. So we take this Altar of Civilization, so we put this up here. We're just going to put this up here somewhere, I don't know. And it is number 5. So we'll place that, and it's kind of funny, like, we just crafted it, but when we place it, it's almost like we have a magical spell. Like we're casting a spell or something like that to create it. Kind of weird. But I mean, it's a nice, elegant game. It says, make a glider on the workbench, so okay. And so a glider, again, doesn't make much sense. It takes 6 stone and 8 logs to make a glider. Okay, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense as a glider requiring stone and wood to make. But okay, so we take that. And then if we want to equip the glider, we can... Okay, so we've equipped the glider. And that's how you do it. You just double jump, basically. Fly through the air with a glider, so we've met our... And if you get up high and you jump up a cliff, you can actually fly a little bit of distance. So then, this is the kind of glitching that I'm talking about, guys. You see our altar, because of probably where we placed it, because it wasn't completely flat, we have an altar that is glitching out. But anyway, guys, if you get close to this altar, and you click on it, this is how you advance your... So I do like the amount of different things you can craft in this game. So right now, we're in the Stone Age, and it shows you what all the new stuff you can craft if you advance. So to advance, you need 1,000 gold, which we have. You need to get some more wood. You need to get some copper ore, and we have enough of the basically raw meat from animals. So we need copper ore and we need wood. And then once we do that, we can make that next pickaxe, which will be a iron pickaxe, and then I believe we can bust up these nodes, these mining nodes like you saw. So let's go ahead and get this copper ore we need. And then we needed some wood, I believe. We used most of our wood in crafting everything. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of buggy. No, we don't have enough copper ore yet. Okay. Not a problem. I do like that it gives you these different missions to do as well. Alright, come up to our glitching out altar. Now we can progress our age. Age evolution! And now we can, if we click on this again, we'll see the next age is our frontier age, where we can make better weapons and more food and a magic hat and, you know, a generator, all kinds of cool stuff. So there's all kinds of cool stuff that you can make in this game, and I really do like that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can craft, and I do think that's kind of cool. But look at me standing on this glitching out altar, how it makes the whole world and the sheep and everything fake. Oh, it's kind of making me sick to my stomach. Looking at that. So if it wants us to repair an item, to do that, we just come here, we just repair it. And if you repair anything, the durability goes down, so you gotta watch yourself on that. Yay! Alright. And all the while, we are leveling up while we do all this. So I want to go ahead and show you guys this iron pickaxe. It takes 3 iron ingots to make that. And it takes 3 logs, which we don't... It takes 5. It takes 5 iron ingots and 5 logs, which we don't have right now. So we need to get some iron ingots. So to do that, we need to find some iron. So we're going to go ahead and equip our pickaxe again. I believe this might be iron, or maybe this is silver. I'm not sure. We'll see. We can't... That weapon isn't good enough for that. I think iron might be. I think that was silver down there. Up. I think iron might be this dark one over here. I think it might be this one. And we have no... We can't use that yet. Nope. Maybe we'll get what we need in here. Again, chest taking sometimes multiple. There we go. We got a better pickaxe. Polished stone pickaxe. So that maybe that'll work. Try it. Nope, still no good. Let's see if I can jump on the stone one and break it all up like I was talking about. Yep, see, like that. So once you get a good enough pickaxe that's, you know, I think 1 level above what you need or whatever, you can definitely do that jumping on these rocks, and that's pretty fun. So, I mean, like I say, this game, they have some good ideas here that are a lot of fun, such as the jumping to break these rocks. Whee! Definitely a lot more fun than sitting there smacking it. Alright. Make a wooden stick, okay? We need more logs. Of course we do. That's one thing about these survival crafting games where you hack trees for wood. It seems like you never have enough wood. And I died because I lost 10% of my money. I wasn't watching my health, guys, as far as my food. That's fine. So we'll respawn, and we lose 10% of our total gold. Again, all these NPCs at this point I feel like should have walked away or swam away or something like that, because we definitely don't need them at this point. Okay. So we got some animal flesh. You think this food would be cooked by the time you'd think it wouldn't be raw with the way I'm killing them. So we're going to come over here to our workbench again, guys. We're going to create a... What we need is a campfire right now. So we can cook some meat, so we'll have food so we don't die again. And that's one of our missions up there as well. Oh, so let's collect it. Put it down in our hotbar. 5. And the funny thing here is, like most games require fuel to run the fire. This game doesn't. You don't have to worry about any kind of fuel. You just put whatever item you want to cook, and you craft it. You just cook raw meat or whatever. It takes forever, but you start crafting that like that. We still got our altar glitching out. I have no idea how you would fix that. Maybe I could break it and place it in a better spot. I'm not sure. Make a wooden stick. We should be able to make a wooden stick now. Craft. Eat raw meat to learn what the dangers are of eating raw meat. Okay, so we're gonna come over here. This is raw meat. We're eating it. Eating raw meat. And we see that our life is dissipating now. We're down to 14 health because we ate raw meat. So if we want to regain health, we come in here. We will grab some of our cooked meat, and you know that by the fire on it. That means it's cooked. We eat that, and we gain 20 health and 17% of our hunger back. I do believe you gain health over time, or maybe maybe that's an ability you learn. So if I click here and I go to my skills, you'll see I don't have any skills yet because I'm not leveled up enough yet. But one of your skills here is Vitality. Your life gradually heals. So, yeah. So this game has these basic skills that'll increase your... This is basically a tumble, so you can move out of the way and roll out of the way if you put a point into that. You have different combat skills that you can get that allow you to do different, strikes and stuff, as you would expect. You have magic, which is kind of cool. You can learn, wind magic, water creation. You can read fireballs, lightning bolts. You can resurrect. Like, I guess that's for, like, playing with multiplayers or whatever. You can resurrect the dead or party members with that spell. And Arc Heal heals life of the party member within a specified area, so a AoE heal. So, I mean, there's some magic skills. There's not a whole... It doesn't look like there's a ton. Well, maybe there is. Yeah, you go all the way to tier 5. Alright, so you do got enough skills and different things to... And then you can learn how to make potions as well. Healing potions, etc. So there's quite a bit here that you could do right now, and more coming soon, according to the developer. And the developers have actually already put out a patch, so... Or a couple of patches. Alright. So let's go ahead and eat a little bit more. And use the ascending air current from the campfire to fly high in the sky. Use a glider right above the campfire. So again, we have the glider equipped. See that in the 9 on the hotbar. You kind of see the smoke and everything rising from the campfire. We're going to use that to glide, which is kind of cool. And there you go. So now we can actually get a little more height, but then we fell. And I think we took some damage. I'm not sure. So if you hit space while you're gliding, oops, then you fall. Yeah. So that's just some of the aspects of this game, guys, and I want to show you real quick before we actually end this stream. I just want to go ahead and try to show you how bad... Okay, so, I mean, again, so we jumped up here and we have this, like, I think that's our clinging to a wall animation. So you see they don't have all these animations exactly worked out. Like, there's no wall there. There's no reason I should be having that clinging to the wall or climbing a wall animation here, but I do have that here, and that's what I'm talking about, some of the glitchiness with this game that just looks weird. Oddities of the game. Alright. I think that's a silver node, if I'm not mistaken. So here we have skeleton warriors, they come out at night. I believe we're going to have a bear over here bouncing around. Yep. We have a bear glitching into a wall, as you see right there. We only see his butt. Maybe it's Pooh Bear. He's trying to get honey, and he's stuck. Remember how Pooh Bear always got stuck in the little hole? Trying to get honey? Or trying to get in Pooh Bear's cave or whatever. I don't remember. Trying to get in somebody's cave. I don't remember exactly, but here, if it lets us come in here... Yeah, we're not high enough level yet, so it's got this blocked off. Oh, no, never mind. We can go in there. I was turned the wrong way. So it turned us the wrong way. Yeah, so why it turns you the wrong way? Like, it should turn you the right way. So when we come in here, guys, the enemies... The enemies that you see inside this dungeon, and as you can see, guys, it's kind of the same dungeon we saw before. The other dungeon that we saw. There are too many enemies to open. 4 enemies left to open this gate. We got a nice weapon here. So I think the reason we couldn't go in there is I think we're just too low level, to be honest. Because I was able to get in that dungeon before. So we need to level up. So we're going to go ahead and hit Y here. It says... Doesn't it say... Use the skill points to earn skills? Okay. Again, this bear is completely glitched out. Oh, he unglitched himself to look at us and roar at us, but now he's glitched again. Oh, he killed us. Lost 10% of our money. Alright, we made a stone workbench now. And we're going to take that stone workbench and we're going to put it down here. Instead of our honey, we're going to place this right by our workbench here. And then in here, we're going to make our bronze ingots. We're going to make the maximum amount. But items will be shipped and exchanged into cash. So with this market, again, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But we can put items in here that we want to sell. Let's just go ahead and sell this fried egg. And this... Yeah, that doesn't look like... Let's sell this egg here. And we're going to get 256 gold for just those items there. And I believe once this timer goes down, we're going to get our money and we'll see the items disappear. Maybe. Let's look again. Yeah, see, they're gone and we got our money. 725. And then you also poop on the ground. Like, you'll poop on the ground, which is kind of crazy. But if you look at the poop, if we collect it, we see the feces applied only to consumables restores life for 50. So poop that restores life, mana damage 50, restore... it's just weird. Excrement for various animals, there is a health problem, but it can also be used as fuel and building materials. So yeah, I mean, it's just disgusting. Like, poop that restores health. Again, doesn't make any sense at all to me. I'm just saying. So you can turn your ore into... We don't have any iron ore. Okay, so we need to find iron ore, but to do that, I think we have to level up. Sell something on the market to make 100 gold. Use teleportation gate to go to a different zone. Use your skill points. So let's go ahead and use our skill points here. Let's go ahead and try magic, something I haven't really tried yet. So let's do, what is this wind edge? A magic that releases blades of wind. Sure, let's try that. Let's level that up. Let's level that up to level 2. We don't have any skill points up. Now we should be able to just drag this down to a hotbar. There we go. Now we can lash attacks. Whoosh. Wow. That killed all 3 sheep at once. That's pretty cool. I guess there's a cooldown? No? So whichever way you're facing, you just... Wow. Doesn't do a ton of damage, but that is cool to attack multiple enemies at the same time. So one thing we got to do here, guys, is we have to give Slate of Growth to Krell, and to increase the available levels to Krell. So we have a Slate of Growth here somewhere. Not sure where that is. But we have to build a path up there, and that's what these ramps are for. Yeah, it took me a minute to figure out where this trail is. And notice, like, when we try to build up, we can't, there we go. Okay, so we can, it's really hard to get these ramps where you want. Like, you see how high up in the air it is? So you can't put it there because, okay, so we're gonna go right here. And again, that's kind of glitching out. But I mean, I guess this is kind of fun to build your way up here. Kind of reminds me of Fortnite. We only have 9 left. We might have to make some more. I don't know if we have enough. Okay. So, again, I don't know why these conveyor belts are there. You know, there's no reason to actually get on those because that doesn't help you. You got to continue to build up here. There we go. So this is the guy we got to talk to. We talk to him. And you can use the Slate of Growth that can be found in the dungeon to bring up your ability levels. Okay, so we got to go back down to that first dungeon and get the reward for beating it. And to do that, I think we have to make a hoverboard or something. Surprised it doesn't tell us that. Alright guys, now we're going to go ahead and create this altar of transportation so we can move to different islands. Basically a teleporter. We're going to take that and we're going to put our teleporter, we're going to put that over here by this market, I guess. Alright, we've now created our teleporter, and we're going to come up here, just hit the E button, and now we can go to a different zone. Island level 1, enemy 8, and if we go over here, we only have 2 choices of where we can go. And this is level 1, level enemy 8, and we need 100 coins to open it. Same thing here, so we'll just choose the one on the right. And we've opened that up, so now we can travel there. That's one of our missions, to travel to another zone. So you open up the map by using this teleporter that you craft. Which is a little bit weird, but... And here, the enemies are going to be stronger. And we've got a whole new beach and that we can have. So you're either going to have to grind away here and create more crafting tables and everything that I have back in that first zone, so you don't have to go back to the teleporter every time. And then we see another floating island over there. Yeah, you're either going to have to grind away and create everything here again, or you're going to have to use this teleporter to go back to your first area. So we'll do that here so we don't have to craft everything again. And then we have the loading screen. And we start back here on the pier once we load in. So that's a little bit annoying. Alright. And then it says defeat the boss inside the dungeon is now one of our missions. We're gonna go ahead and collect this meat. And I believe we have more meat we can put on here. Yep, we have all kinds of meat, guys. Grab that. And so, I wanted to create that hoverboard, but I don't know where it's at. Oh, here it is. New vehicle. Okay, so we craft the hoverboard. We need a bird feather. Okay, so we need to get some chicken. We need to kill a chicken. Alright, so for that, we're just going to get our machete out that we found inside of a chest. And we're going to try to get a... Nope. There we go. Dead. There's our feather. Thank you. So much stuff in this game. We'll take the glider off. There we go. So you right click on this hoverboard and then you jump on it, or you hit E to ride it, and then you can ride this hoverboard around. Which, I mean, again, is kind of fun, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense in a game like this. I mean, even though it is fun and it looks cool, I wonder if we can glide all the way up our ramp. Let's try that. Yeah? Up. Alright, so I want to go ahead and jump off this thing. And... Nope. Leave me alone! You big meanie. I just want to collect it again. How do I collect it again? Right click? Nope. I think it actually has to stop before I can collect it. And again, this is part of the glitchiness of this game. Like, you just want to collect your hoverboard again. Usually you collect stuff when you just move right over it. Whether it be loot from an animal or a monster you kill or a barrel or whatever. But if it's moving, it's thinking that I'm wanting to ride it, I think. So now it's stopped. Can I collect it? If I hit E, I'm going to ride it. Yeah, it's not stopped yet. It's still moving. I just want to collect my hoverboard again. I want to pick it up. So it looks like once you place it, you can't pick it up again. What if we hold E? Nope. Alright. So to make that, we had to have a feather, right? Yep. Alright, let's just go up here. Let's use our magic spell to try to kill a chicken. Our number 4. I missed him! I missed the chicken. He's got to stop. He moves every time I cast my spell. Oh my gosh. This is so annoying. Stop, chicken. I just want to... There we go. We got a feather. Okay. We're gonna craft another hoverboard here. We're gonna take it, and we got it in our 6th slot now. And look at our glitching out altar as we run up here. It's kind of sad that there's so many bugs in the game and like the multiplayer is not working better at launch. This bear is just joinking around. Can we go in here now and actually do something? There we go. So now this is another big problem with this game. We're in the 2nd dungeon, which looks exactly like the 1st dungeon, except the 1st dungeon is bugged out and doesn't let us advance. So we came in here earlier and there was no monsters or anything, and it was just completely closed, and so we had to back out. But now we see that we can, because we're a sufficient level, we can come in here and we can see these enemies, and for the most part they don't even notice me. A lot of times, my first time I came into this dungeon, I was able to just fire away at them, and they didn't even move. Every once in a while, one of them will charge, and they'll fire the spell at me. But, I mean, it's not exactly great AI, for sure. And that's a big part of the problem with this game. So you lit us on fire, that's fine. I mean, I do like that you can go and melee these guys, or you can... Oops. We need one. One. There we go. So I had to hit one there twice to equip my weapon. Which, again, is just part of the main problem. The inability to lock on to enemies with a melee weapon is also super frustrating in this game. Whether you're attacking cows or whether you're attacking enemies. So magic might be the best bet, but as you can see, your magic AI is also completely bugged. And if a monster or a cow or whatever is moving that you're trying to hit with this magic, it's going to miss every time. So we hit the level 7 Goblin Warrior over there, and he doesn't even do anything. He just continues to walk around. Oh, there he goes. He finally saw some pathfinding to us. So we want to try to avoid him. But again, you see how bugged out our magic is. That time I didn't even cast. And it's because the target is moving. So then you're left with melee to try to wipe him out. And he's done. But the enemy AI in this game is completely buggy, not very smart, and way too easy to defeat. And this is just part of the many problems that this game has. It's extremely frustrating. The AI is really non-existent. And while the game looks really good and the assets that they purchase in this game look really good, the game is just such a mess. So, I mean, I wouldn't exactly call it, you know, what I typically call a asset-reliant sloppy mess. I wouldn't exactly say it's as bad as a lot of these asset-reliant games on Steam, but it's pretty bad. And though the game looks really good, I can't recommend this game in its current state right now. But I do just want to go ahead and make sure people know that this game is not an asset flip. I want to go and thank you guys for watching. This has been Zaxtorian 99. Take care, everybody.